Hey everybody, welcome to the beautiful Texas Hill Country, where today it is the second week of August. We're about 16 miles west of Kerrville, Texas at Rockin R Whitetails. As a deer hunter, I want to know all I can about America's favorite big game animal. That's why I became a deer farmer. Without deer farms, we lose our greatest resource for research and whitetail management. With them, we gain more knowledge than ever before. Join me as we discover the truth about whitetails and meet those who work every day to preserve this great species for future generations. My name is Keith Warren, and this is Deer and Wildlife Stories. You know, this is a real busy time of year for me, and people say, well, how do I keep up the pace? I mean, I jokingly say I work 8 days a week. Seriously, I mean, we're on flights all over, driving all night to be able to see deer on different farms, and I'm pretty run down most of the time in August. So people say, how do you do it? Well, I do it because I'm passionate about whitetail deer and passionate about seeing my family. And my family are those that love whitetail deer, that are in the deer breeding family. And so the family here, Nathan and Christy Ross, I mean, they're special people. You know, they wound up until recently, and I say recently, about the last 10 years, they weren't even in the deer breeding industry. And it was just something that if you would have told them years ago they're going to be doing this, they said, yeah, you're crazy. But they have found a love within themselves to be able to, I mean, bond with the whitetail deer, and what better way to do that than be a deer farmer. And so they've moved out to the Texas Hill Country. This is a beautiful piece of property, and they're raising some phenomenal animals.
I've spent the majority of my work career in public education. When we started Rockin R Whitetails, it was basically a hobby, something that we just had a passion for whitetail deer, and we were wanting to branch off into something where we could get some enjoyment and relax and just watch the deer grow and be a part of the industry. Where we are today, at that point, was a pipe dream, but we've been very blessed and fortunate to partner with some fantastic folks. And since that time, our business has grown to the point to where this is what we do full time. And it's been a wonderful experience. Second week of August, a lot of the growth is done in the pens. The bucks are finishing out strong. We're super excited to have Keith Warren on the place, show him around, and give him a glimpse of what we're fortunate enough to see every day.
All right, 3-year-olds?
Yes, sir.
How many you got in here?
There's about between 25 and 30.
Were they all born on the place?
Yes, sir.
And will any of these be used for breeding at all, or for DMP bucks?
Yes, sir. We have a few that are going to breed for us, and then we have some others that are certainly breed worthy for DMP pens or other breeders. Okay, well, if somebody would want to come out here and take a look at them, give them a telephone number or website, how would they contact you? RockinRWhitetails.com is our website. Mm-hmm. My cell phone number is 409-767-5299. or rockinrwhitetails@gmail.com.
And when you take a look at them, I think you got a little bit of everything. I mean, there's some that are really big, wide framey. That guy right there, I mean, he is a nice looking buck. Okay, so you've been breeding what, 8 years, 7 years?
Yes, sir.
And you've already got deer like that.
Yes, sir.
I gotta ask you this, because we're gonna go take a look at your 2-year-olds in a minute. Everybody in the industry is talking about high expectations, high expectations. And we'll show you all high expectations in a little bit. I mean, he's a magnificent 2-year-old buck. But are your 2-year-olds across the board, are they better this year than these guys were too?
Yes, sir, I would say so. Overall, we get a little better every year. We always are looking for ways to tweak our breeding and make sure that
stack those genetics
and get the passed down traits and characteristics and the type of bucks that we're looking for. So I think we get a little better every year.
Well, these 3-year-olds are absolutely beautiful. I mean, like I said, there's a little bit of everything out there. They've got good mass, some of them got great tine length, some of them are wider than others, but these right here, really nice looking deer, but I am looking forward to seeing high expectations. That's for doggone sure. Then you've got another buck I want to see out here too. His name is AfterShock. Can you show me him?
Absolutely.
And I hear he may be having a little bit of problems with his antlers.
A little bit. He's getting heavy.
All right, well, we'll go look at him in a minute. But right there, that's a pretty nice group of 3-year-olds. And let's go see some 2-year-olds.
Sounds good.
Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by Record Rack Deer and Elk Feeds, UVC Power Sports, the North American Deer Farmers Association, Advanced Deer Genetics, New Dart, Divine Genetics, the North American Deer Registry, Protect the Harvest, Headgear LLC, Southwest Fabricators, High Roller Whitetails Big Buck Draft and Premier Deer Auction, and Dr. Ray Favero's Whitetail Genetics. Viewer feedback is presented by Protect the Harvest, Protect the Hunt. All right, this one comes to me off of the Facebook page by a viewer by the name of Fred. He says, why don't state DNRs partner up with deer breeders to work towards finding a solution on how to deal with CWD? Fred, that is a fantastic question. I want everybody to know that the research that is being done on how to deal with chronic wasting disease is being funded and done on deer breeding facilities. So there is not a better place, in my opinion, to do research on chronic wasting disease than right here on deer breeding facilities. Matter of fact, the deer breeders are ready, willing, able, and doing something about it every single day. Meanwhile, the DNRs, what are they really doing? I mean, they're going out and depopulating areas and they're enforcing lots of regulations. So it's a good question. Why don't DNRs around the country partner up with deer breeders? Fred, thanks for the question. And if you've got a question for me, go to my Facebook page and post it on there, or hit me up on my website.
Probably our pride and joy this year is a 2-year-old we have called High Expectations. He is a FedEx, Federal Express son out of a Gladiator 2 daughter that goes back to a doe here on our farm called Queen Impact. We know that he's going to be a staple of our breeding program for quite a long time.
All right, so the 2-year-old pen, and what we have in here is that High Expectations.
That's him.
Holy smokes, Nathan! Why in the world haven't you come out? Well, you don't talk. I'll tell you what about you and Christy. And I said this in an interview. Y'all are the most quiet, humble people. You really are. I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, I go to a sale, and I see you there, and I mean, you listen a lot. Look at him, he's listening. Okay, and you just don't talk a lot. If I had a deer like High Expectations, or if he was on anybody else's farm, they'd be okay, and you're just quiet. It's like you're letting the deer sell himself. And so I'm looking at him thinking, folks, look at that deer. That is a phenomenal deer. Was he born here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, from your breeding?
Yes, sir.
Holy smokes. Okay, tell me about him. I want to hear about his pedigree, because that is one beautiful buck.
Thank you. He's a FedEx son out of a Gladiator 2 doe that goes back to a doe that we call Queen Impact, Sudden Impact Gladiator. She's done a lot of work on our farm. We've got another direct son in here too that we'll be, I'm sure, taking a look at. But he's pretty much everything that we're looking for in a 2-year-old buck for sure.
And what do you think he is?
He's gonna be 30, yeah. Over 30.
I mean, and the thing about a buck like that I've found is that when you get your hands on them, when you actually knock them down, you get your hands on them, they're bigger than what you thought.
Right, I think so.
They're bigger. And so a 2-year-old rack, I mean, when you take a look at him at 2, imagine what he's going to be at 3.
Right.
And so, and people wonder oftentimes how long do these breeder bucks live? I mean, their breeder bucks live 10, 12 years old. Mm-hmm. I mean, so you've got a long time to see what's going to happen out of him for production. Now, as far as semen, you got semen available?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So if somebody was to, because the semen market, I mean, it was high and then it's gone low, it's kind of all over the place. How much a straw?
$1,500 for single straws.
Really?
We will.
And you could split that, very easily split that. So
yes,
you get
sir.
2 breedings out of it, which is probably going to result in 4 deer, maybe more. So
and we do take into consideration if somebody wants a multi-straw package, we'll cut the price a little bit too.
Okay. Wow, he is a phenomenal deer. I cannot wait to see what he's going to do at 3, but at 2, he's got everything somebody would want right there. So if you're interested in coming out here and seeing High Expectations, I mean, give him a phone number.
409-767-5299.
Okay, now there's another monster right there. Who in the world is that? You mean you're too quiet? It's like I'd be bragging on these guys all day long. So who is he?
That's Paparazzi. That was the other buck I mentioned earlier. He's a direct son of the same Queen Impact. He's a Diesel King son out of Queen Impact.
So that dam is really, really a producer.
She's powerful. The only reason she's not more well known is because I probably haven't done as good a job getting her name out there, but she's consistent. She takes care of business.
Paparazzi, okay. So on the top side, who is he?
Diesel King.
Okay, Diesel King.
He's a King Leo 2 son out of Lone Hollow.
Yep. Wow. Okay, so strategically on your breeding operation here, how long do you keep the bucks? These are twos. Would you sell them at 2? I know everything's for sale, basically, but do you typically try to keep them until they're 3?
We do. We like to see how they mature. We like to find out, you know, their max potential to make sure that we're hanging on to the does that we need to keep in the program and consistently produce these type of bucks.
Okay. Well, there's some of them in there that are already monsters at 3. They're going to really be big, and I know some of them are going to catch up. So that's awesome. What I would like to do now, if you don't mind, show me some of the breeder bucks that you've got. Can
Sure.
you do that?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Closed captioning for Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by G2 Ranch, where quality is our commitment.
Brought to you by American Fair Chase Hunting Club. Just shut up and hunt.
Hey y'all, it's Timmy Edwin here. I'm president of American Fair Chase Hunting Club. I've been out hunting with my dog Brutus all day long. It's the best hunting dog ever. Let me get him in here. Come on, Brutus. Come on in here, buddy. This here Brutus. He's a Russian bear dog. I hunt everything with him. I hunt deers, I hunt coons, I hunt birds. Anything out there that can be hunted, Brutus right here. He's the dog. Whoo, hello.
Timmy, that's a good-looking hunting dog you got.
Yes, it
Hey,
is.
Brutus, how you doing? Okay, I got a question for you. Every hunter wants to have a good hunting dog, but
That's
is
right.
hunting with a hunting
Brutus.
dog, is it considered fair chase hunting?
I don't know, Keith. What is fair chase hunting?
I don't know, but certainly the president of the American Fair Chase Hunting Club would know.
You'd think so, but I guess never thought of that.
Well, maybe Brutus would know.
He might. He's a pretty smart dog.
You know what? Until you figure it out, my advice for you is just shut up and hunt.
Shut up and hunt.
Yep.
I like that. Come on, Brutus. Let's go hunt the Shih Tzu out of something.
Yeah, y'all good luck on that too. Hey everybody, you know, until you can figure out what fair chase hunting is, I'd like you to use the hashtag #JustShutUpAndHunt on all your social media posts. In the meantime, I want to hear from you.
What is your definition of fair chase hunting? Let us know using the hashtag #JustShutUpAndHunt.
Our goal at Rockin R Whitetails, I think obviously is to make a living, being able to do what we love to do. Anybody would be for that, but it's more than that to us. It's a family business, it's a friend business. It's something that we want to be known for honesty and integrity, and we want people to deal with us because, one, that we grow a quality animal, but two, because they know that we're going to shoot straight with them and they're going to be able to be satisfied when they leave Rockin R Whitetails.
Okay, you got a bunch of yearlings in here with these 3 big guys, so what is the deal with that guy with his head on the ground? My goodness, who is that?
That's AfterShock.
Ooh, he's 4 now, right?
Yes, sir.
He just got too big, didn't he?
He's heavy. Yes, sir.
I mean, that deer right there, let me tell you, at 3, that deer wasn't heavy like that. I mean, he was great. He was a great breeder. And I mean, a lot of people, I know he has been a producer like crazy. I know on this farm, he has really produced some good deer. But I'm looking at him right there and I'm going, oh my gosh, he has produced so much bone that literally he's having a hard time holding his head
Yes,
up.
sir, he is.
Wow. You gonna cut him off?
Yes, sir, we need to. That's the right thing to do.
How about, do you mind if we film that?
Okay.
Okay, good. I'd like to do that. Yeah, so, I mean, we're gonna film that and put it on this show, but speaking of game, is that game over right there?
Yes, sir, that's him.
Golly, look at that. Talk about beautiful. What a pretty buck that is. Now tell me about him, pedigree-wise.
He's 4 also.
Yeah.
He's an Overnight Express son out of PK0036. That's also Gunslinger's mother. They share a dam.
Well, no wonder. I mean, he's got that nice big frame. He is beautiful. Okay, so that's game over. All right. And this guy right here, who is that?
Glass 2028.
That's him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, wow. And the pedigree on him?
He's an express son out of a 2028 on Gladiator doe.
Wow. Now, the reason why you have them in here with these little guys is why? I mean, I know, but you tell everybody.
They don't stress as much. It's an easy environment for them. They're able to relax and grow out without feeling any pressure from any other bucks their size.
Right. And so right now, with it being summertime like this, and it's the second week of August, these bucks, I mean, they're still buddies. I mean, these guys are kind of hanging around together. They actually, they're pals.
Right.
But in about 6 weeks, they won't be pals anymore.
No,
they're going to be really ticked off at one another.
Right.
So, but this is a good place for them to spend the summer. Okay, let's do this. Let's just make sure that we're gonna probably need some help this afternoon cutting off AfterShock.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, y'all stay tuned. When we get back, we'll show you what AfterShock looks like up close and personal. If you're ready to get started in deer farming, go to deerandwildlifestories.com and click the Get Started Deer Farming tab. It's the beginning of the second week of August and the bucks are basically done. I mean, some of them are really like 99% done and some of them are about 90% done. You can take a look at their antlers and kind of bulbed up and all, and you can see that you can see how big these deer really are. You know, the way that they've got them separated is the way most deer breeders separate them. They'll separate them as far as age class go. Now the does and fawns, they're off doing their thing, and then of course Christy's got, I don't know, a couple of dozen or so fawns in the barn. These are special fawns. So these are fawns that Christy is mama, and she loves those babies like anybody would love a baby. I jokingly say, and not really a joke, that if you don't like baby deer, I probably am not gonna like you. These are the cutest little things. Look at you. Because who could not like baby deer, no matter where they live? And so it's real easy to see how somebody can get attached to them. And Christy, she takes her job seriously. I mean, she's not just over here taking care of animals. I mean, they're like loved ones. She loves each and every one of them. So the love and the care that she provides is obvious to anybody who comes out here. Meanwhile, Nathan, I mean, this is just a husband and wife deal. They don't have anybody out here helping them right now. And so Nathan is busting his tail, going out and checking the animals, make sure everybody's healthy, making sure that that nobody's broken off an antler, making sure nobody's laid off in the corner by themselves. He has spent a lot of time doing that, feeding, and I think what better way, seriously, for a husband and wife to spend some time together than 7 days a week. Now somebody may think 7 days a week, yeah, you're gonna get ticked off at one another and stuff. But you know what, when you love what you do, it's not a job. And deer breeders, this isn't a job. This isn't what we do to go to work every day. This is just a way of life, and I think any deer breeder out there would agree. Deer breeding, deer farming is just a way of life, and we love it. Well, there's a particular buck out here that really needs our help, and we showed him to you just a little while ago. You know, this guy, his antlers have grown so big, he's a 4-year-old. And what we're gonna do, we're planning on this evening, we're gonna go ahead and knock him down, and we're gonna remove the antlers. Now, you know, we talk about deer breeders are a family, and one of the guys that's coming over to help us is a family member. Okay, his name's Grant Gardner. He works at Lone Hollow Whitetails. And
I'm Grant Garner. I manage the deer pens at Lone Hollow Whitetails. I came down today to give a hand to my neighbors, Nathan and Christy here at Rockin R. Big, beautiful buck AfterShock needed his antlers cut today, and we came down to give a hand.
all right, so what he's doing right now, he's gonna measure the inside spread just to get an idea of roughly what the score is. And it'll have to be added up later on because this guy's so big that it's gonna take probably a pretty good while to add him up. Grant, go ahead and tell him what you're doing here.
We're gonna strap these rubber bands on and cinch them down as tight as possible.
All right, what they're doing now, they're putting little bands on the antlers to basically make a tourniquet. And once he gets that on there, he's gonna tighten them up, and it's gonna stop the blood flow going up into the antlers. And the deer is asleep. The deer doesn't feel anything.
How the blood comes out of
The blood doesn't come out of here, bud. The blood's gonna come out of there.
the blood comes out of whenever you put the water in.
Yeah, see that? This is why I like deer farming so much, because you get the young guys like this involved. What?
After you put
That's the cool thing about deer farming, is the fact that you can wind up take these deer, and it's our responsibility as a deer farmer to make sure they're healthy. So he's getting this tourniquet where it's all tightened up and everything. Going to give it a few minutes where it slows that blood flow down, and then we're going to cut the antlers off. And again, the deer is asleep. He's sedated just like you would be if you were in surgery. He doesn't feel a thing. And this deer right here, in a few minutes, gonna be waking up and he's gonna be really, really happy that he lost his headgear. This probably weighs about, I bet 12 to 14 pounds per side. That's good. Hope y'all enjoyed today's show, and if you did, I'd like to hear from you. If you're watching online, post questions and comments below. The more, the better. If you're around the Texas Hill Country and you'd like to see some really beautiful deer and meet some wonderful people, I'd like to invite you to come out to Rockin R Whitetails. Nathan and Christy would love to show you their deer, and I think you'll be very, very impressed. My name's Keith Warren, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching Deer and Wildlife Stories.